Well, we are 2 weeks into the new year, and already there are plenty of Bay Area entrepreneurs looking to create new businesses.
Yeah, and one way to do that is gaining a lot of popularity is through crowdfunding websites like Kickstarter. Joining us this morning to tell us more about these local campaigns is Kim McNicholas of Pando Daily. Good morning, Kim. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Happy New Year. We haven't seen you.
Yeah. It's been actually a long time.
Last year.
So tell us a little bit about this program for people who don't know how it operates.
So crowdfunding is a new way. It's actually over the past couple of years it's really gained steam, where anyone and everyone can actually invest their money in a project. Everything from $1 clip to you can actually fund an entire project, $20,000, $100,000. But you know, let's say you have a local company like Anchor Steam here in San Francisco that wouldn't you love to say that, you know, way back when I invested even $1, I helped support them and get their feet on the ground.
Sure.
Well, you know, I was just telling her about a young man I know who's working on trying to publish a book about for Latino kids with cancer, and he's going to kick, but it's really more not an investment but a donation. So I guess you can see it in two ways, because you're not necessarily going to get money back from this, right?
No, there's no equity in terms of these businesses, so that's the difference. You have venture capitalists, you have angel investors that in return for their investment in your project or in your company, they're looking for equity in your business. They're looking for that monetary return on their investment, and for these projects they actually offer rewards. So if in fact, and it's an if in fact these projects are fully funded, meaning that if they're asking for $20,000 and they do in fact get the $20,000, you have the potential of getting these rewards. There are risks, there are challenges you have to read with every single project, because even if they are funded, there's no guarantee with any business. But the cool thing is that they have a different level of, you know, investment that you can make. From $1, you get a big thank you. $5, you could potentially get a big public thank you on Twitter or Facebook. But for example, there's a company called Sia, and a young woman here in San Francisco who's taking on the big boys of the beverage industry, and her project was recently funded. It's a Scotch whiskey brand, and her name is Corinne Castillo. And she actually, for $100 investment, you actually have access to a private launch party if in fact it does go through. And then you have Mike Del Ponte, also a San Francisco resident, who is trying to take on Brita because he didn't like the fact that every single time
the soft water company.
Exactly, and every time he would pour his water, the top would fall off. So he wanted to create a new type of purification system with a glass carafe compostable water filter, and his was fully funded. And for just a $35 investment, you get the glass carafe, if in fact it is funded and they do fulfill their promise, and you get a 6-month subscription to their compostable water filters as well.
Now you talk about some of the risks. Tell us a little bit about that, because there are some risks involved.
Well, the biggest risk is if you invest your money, you're not going to get anything in return. You really have to do it out of the goodness of your heart, you know, and because it is with any business, there are no guarantees.
But you're talking about from the donor or investor side. What about from someone who wants to start the business? We just saw 3 examples.
I mean, there is
of people starting something.
Right. And there is no, I mean, if you're asking for $20,000 and in the 30 days of the campaign, for example, you don't raise the $30,000, you're not going to get the money, and the people who are donating, their cards don't get charged. Once you do get the money, there still really isn't as much of a risk for you. You want to, as that entrepreneur, fulfill your promises, and you want that product to go to market. But there still is no guarantee with that money.
How hard, though, is it to drive a campaign like that? Because you're really out there against tons of people also looking for someone to invest in their project or to donate to the project.
It really starts with your friends and family, and so for any project that I, for example, decide I want to invest in, I always make sure that it has some sort of a good start, and that means that friends and family really believe in that particular person.
The seed money, so to speak.
Exactly. Believe in that person, believe in that campaign. But we do have some great local companies as well, aside from Corinne and Mike Del Ponte. There's, for example, a musical theater company. There's GPA, Grand Performing Arts Company. It's a family musical theater arts company that they're just looking for $5,000 to get help to move into the rehearsal space. So, for example, for a $50 investment in that, you're helping a company move into rehearsal space, and you get 2 free tickets to Your Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Before we go, are there any that you should stay away from?
The ones that I would stay away from are the ones that, for example, are 6 days to go and they still need $20,000 to $30,000.
That tells you something.
That really does tell you something.
Read the financials.
Exactly.
Kim McNicholas, thanks a lot.
We'll be right back.